What powers a modern missile? Is it a fighter jet or a warship? It's not just steel and fuel. It's the tiny chips and the invisible networks, the semiconductors and 5G hidden inside every system. If you control them, you control the future of warfare. Welcome back to day 17 of Defense Reimagined. Yesterday we explored how India's defense exports are changing our global influence. And today we dig into the micro world of chips and the lightning fast web of 5G. These aren't just buzzwords. They're the core of what makes today's military smarter, faster, and more secure. In this episode, we'll explore what 5G and semiconductors actually are and how they power India's defense forces. The real story on India's current strength and gaps, why the race for chips and secure networks matter for our strategy and even for our national survival. And lastly, what the future could look like, including India's policy breakthroughs and the next wave of technology. Semiconductor is a special material used to build chips, the tiny brain inside every advanced electronic system. Defense chips run radar systems, encrypt communications, fly drones, guide missiles, and power AI for decision making. Without them, the modern military comes to a standstill. India's chip market has grown to nearly $50 billion in 2025, but the country still imports most defense-grade chips. The big push now to make our own chips at home so hostile powers can't cut us off, install backdoors, or disrupt our supply chains. 5G, on the other hand, is the latest generation of wireless network tech. It gives us real-time videos from drones, connect sensors in every tank and ships, and let units communicate with almost no delay. In war, that can mean life or death. India's armed forces already use secure, indigenous 5G systems in critical missions, and no foreign 5G hardware is being imported to avoid hidden risk from adversaries. India launches the new semiconductor mission to develop local chip design and manufacturing, aiming for self-reliance and less dependence on China, the US, and Europe. The new Shakti fab will produce specialized military chips for night vision, secure radios, missile seekers, and AI-powered centers of fusion, making India the first to build the multi-chip military fab outside the US. Big Indian groups like the Tata are building new semiconductor plants, often working with trusted international partners from Taiwan, the US, and Japan. India currently imports most of its high-end military chips, and this dependence is a big strategic risk if supply lines are disrupted or rival nations embed security threats. 5G networks, if built with untrusted foreign suppliers, could become conduits for surveillance or sabotage, making network security and indigenous development a priority. The good news is that the policy reforms, new investment, and decisive move towards homegrown tech are bridging these gaps, with key military and space launches relying on Indian chips and networks every year. Making our own chips and networks isn't just about technology, it's about sovereignty. Digital independence gives India the power to act, react, and adapt in a world where wars start with the ether and get settled in the real world. Kautilya's Arthashastra warns, know the enemy's thought is to rule the outcome. In the era of chips and networks, knowing and protecting our own digital heart is the ultimate shield. Tomorrow on Defense Reimagined, we examine the urban warfare, how Indian armed forces prepare for conflicts in crowded cities and smart environments. Share this if you believe that security starts at the tiniest level. Dive for publisher. Until then, keep reimagining yourself and know that the power of change lies within you. Jai Hind.